With the 11th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets should select Jalen Johnson. Hey, what's up? Sam here. Welcome to the Sam Dracula channel, Charlotte Hornets fan channel. And this is episode 3 of this series where I'm looking at prospects the Hornets could possibly, maybe in the alternate timeline, draft in just a few weeks. Look, if you're new around here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. I have a video up on trade possibilities using that 11th overall pick, a video on Jalen Johnson, and a video on James Bouknight. Go check those out. There are gonna be spoilers in this one in relation to those guys. As I talk about Jalen Johnson, I can't help but compare him to the guys I've already done videos on, Keon and James, because those fellas have worked out for the Hornets. This is my super scientific big board. It compiles all the big board rankings for all the players that could be in the Hornets range, just looking at all the mock drafts possible. This column D here is the average. So for instance, our guy today, Jalen Johnson, 15th, 16th, rounding up in the big board rankings. Looking at the averages of ESPN, NBA Draft.net, Ringer, Sports Illustrated, CBS Sporting News, Bleacher Report, and The Athletic. Athletic have him 20th, compared to SI having him 8th. Some range there. There are concerns about that for me as a novice. I don't know a lot about Jalen Johnson. I know a few things about him that I like, some things that are concerning. We're gonna get into all that in this video. I wanna talk about the Hornets in general, right? Just generally speaking, at this point, we don't know what the Hornets roster looks like. So trying to come up with a slot, a role, a job for Jalen Johnson right now is a little difficult. The best I think realistically we can do is to expect any rookie to hope, but expect is probably too strong, to hope that any rookie coming into this team for this upcoming season is able to contribute in the rotation off the bench. I think that's a fair, especially we're talking lottery pick, right? At some point being a bench rotation contributor. I don't think anybody we select in this range should be expected to start anytime soon. But what I want from a prospect in this range is a guy that could offer something, right? Something that we don't already have, a better version of something we already have. So that's the view of this, right? And when I look at Jalen Johnson and James Bouknight, I see Malik Monk, I see a Terry Rozier. Not exactly the same, but of that ilk. There's a like for like kind of look for there. I have an idea of what they can bring with energy and athleticism. That goes for more for Keon. Bouknight is no slouch on the athletic end either, but his scoring is something that's really special that this team could really use. So when I look at Jalen Johnson, I want to see something that we can use now. This team needs to make the playoffs. Borrego's job's at stake if they don't. I think it's a legit concern. Cupcake talks about the need for this team to make a playoff push, right? And we gotta avenge the loss against the Pacers more than anything else. We need boys that can help us today, and I have concerns about Jalen Johnson's ability to do that for a few reasons. So first off, he has all the measurables, right? Prototypical 3, maybe small ball 4. Who knows, right? He has the body of an NBA player today. Like, no disrespect to Jalen McDaniels, but he's gonna have a tall order backing up Gordon Hayward again this year. I expect Jalen to be, it's weird because there's gonna be 2 Jalens potentially. Jalen McDaniels, if he's Gordon Hayward's backup going into next year, that is totally fine. But there's room for improvement there, either from him, like Jalen McDaniels, the man himself, or from a new player coming in and carrying that load. If Hayward's injured, if there's a suspension, if there's back-to-backs, there's 82 games this season, like who knows? We need bodies, right? Can Jalen Johnson eventually slide in there? I don't know. We'll find out. Well, we won't find out. We'll find out if they draft him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. On the plus side, he fits a positional need. So as far as like a spot on the floor for Jalen Johnson, there definitely is. I mean, the kid's a 5-star recruit. The issue is we haven't seen a lot of him, right? I know it caused some criticism for leaving school early. I'm not killing him for that. Screw the NCAA, you know what I mean? Get your money, kid. I'm not mad at that. As far as evaluating him, it's a problem because it's a small sample size, right? But I'm not killing a kid for bucking the system, right? Especially when you look at James Wiseman. We played 3 games in college. LaMelo didn't play any college, went overseas to play professionally. Like, hey, I'm not mad at it one bit. Get your money, kid. Get your money, but you gotta back it up. The work needs to be done, and only he can do it. All right, so we're on the big board, right? His comps right here: Aaron Gordon, Rudy Gay, Stephen Jackson, TJ Warren. All excellent players in their own rights. The experts tout his athleticism, playmaking, and rebounding ability as his biggest strengths, right? All those things will be very useful, like really useful. Again, it's a running theme here for the Hornets in 21-22. Some of the knocks include his shooting stroke, some funky mechanics with the shot, as well as his not the most tough individual, kind of shying away for contact when things get crowded in the lane. Not great, but if he's a good enough athlete to pull it off, I'm not too concerned about that. So this is where the 13 games played hurts, right? 11.2 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Really good for that short amount of time, but what are we saying really? What I'll choose to highlight, literally in this case, is the shooting percentage. 52% from the floor, 44.4% from 3, 63% from the free throw line. I don't like that. You can do better. Do better, Jalen. Let me tell you what makes me feel better about his shooting ability, okay? He knows what he's good at, okay? 7 two-pointer attempts per game compared to 1.4 threes per game. That tells me he knows what he's good at and what he isn't good at. And this is a very small sample size, but he's shooting that at a perfect clip. 40% plus from 3 is a dub. All this with the grain of salt because it's such a small sample size. And you get the good and the bad with that, right? If he had 20 points per game in those 13 games, be like, oh my God, this kid is sick. But it's still a small sample size. So it's up to him to kill it in these few weeks leading up to the draft, in the interviews, the media appearances, and in the workouts. There's a Rod Boone article about Jalen Johnson's pre-draft workouts with the Hornets on SportsIllustrated.com. And according to Jalen Johnson, I gotta say his full name. He says, I honestly don't think I'd be in the position I'm in today if I didn't leave early. I prepared myself. I'm in position, ready for this next step. I'm as prepared as I've ever been. And I like that. That's what you should say. You gotta own it. If he came in with all these different excuses or trying to lie, essentially, hey, you're out of here. See ya. I'm passing on you. But I do like that he owns it. I love that he owns it. When I think about first year contributions and compare Jalen Johnson to Keon Johnson and James Bouknight, I know Keon Johnson would be a major project, but his next level athleticism, I think can be worked into the mix right away. James Bouknight seems like of all the players I've looked at thus far, there's just been 3. James Bouknight seemed to be the most well-rounded of the bunch. For that reason, I don't know if he'll be that 11 either. But just to put a bow on this, I wonder how you guys feel about Jalen Johnson. It doesn't excite me like the other guys, phrasing. And I think that on draft day, on July 29th, if I hear Adam Silver say with the 11th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Jalen Johnson, I'll be kind of mad about it. At this point blank, I would much rather have Bouknight. I would much rather have Keon Johnson than Jalen Johnson at this point. What would you think if the Hornets drafted Jalen Johnson 11th overall? How would you feel about that? Let me know in the comments. You can tweet me. My Twitter is Sam Dracula, Instagram, Samuel Dracula, super formal over there. It's not as exciting as the other players to me that I've looked at thus far that are in the Hornets range and how they could impact the Charlotte Hornets in 2021. In 2023, 2024, Jalen Johnson could be the best player in this part of the lottery. Who knows? But in the short term, it's not really there for me, but I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Comments below. You can tweet me, send me a message on Instagram. in my Discord. You can join the conversation in there if you like. But hey, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you right there. You watching this right now. I appreciate you. Thank you.